It was a beautiful midsummer's morning at one of northeastern Utah's most popular reservoirs. About the only chance an angler has at Red Fleet is to get on the water early before the power squadron wakes up, or fish during cooler months. Anyway, it was glass calm, I was all by myself, and it was a perfect morning for a kayak trip targeting wipers. Several days earlier, the Utah DWR had planted a bunch of 4-inch trout fingerlings, so I figured fishing around the boat ramp might be good, using a 4-inch live target swim bait. I tried casting around for a little while and kept getting short strikes, so I thought trolling might be a better technique. Red Fleet was treated back in October of 2015. Walleye had been illegally introduced to the reservoir and cannot be tolerated in the drainage in order to protect native fishes downstream. The only way to remove them was to kill off all the fish in the lake and start over. The DWR has restocked rainbow trout, cutthroat trout, brown trout, and tiger trout, mountain whitefish, sterile walleye, yellow perch, black crappie, bluegill, largemouth bass, and wipers, which are a cross between striped bass and white bass. After trolling for several hundred yards, I finally hooked up with my first Red Fleet wiper. These guys are growing well and put up a great fight. This guy is about 14 inches, and since I didn't have any way of keeping any, I let him go. I got a bunch of hits in this one particular area, so I stopped and made a few casts. There's one. It's another nice typical 15-inch wiper. I kept working the live target swim bait for a while, but the wipers seemed to have switched gears, so I changed to a white zoom curly tail grub. Back to trolling. After a short bit, I hooked up with another small wiper, and after that the bite shut off, and besides, the power squadron was beginning to show up. A few weeks later, on another glass calm morning, I found myself on Red Fleet again for another go at it. One thing I really like about fishing at Red Fleet is the incredible scenery. Towering sandstone cliffs surrounded by pinyon juniper forests. Some have called it a little Lake Powell. Its waters are typically very clear, allowing you to see well into the depths. I figured I'd try trolling a crankbait to see if they were still interested in the trout fry, but it seemed all the trout fry had either been consumed or were in hiding, and the wipers weren't interested in the crankbait. On a whim, I decided to try throwing a Zara spook along a cliff wall. Hey, the first cast with the spook produced a couple of swirls and a brief hookup. Dang it. There's another swirl right at the boat. Come on. These wipers are famous for short striking today. I got him finally, and that's a nice one. A really nice one.
That's a wiper. Oh my goodness. Wow, that's a wiper. Wow, that's a wiper.
I failed to bring a net, and one thing about wipers is they don't give up and they're spiny. Every fin seems to reach out and poke you. A net's a good thing to have. What a great fish. It weighed in at 4.5 pounds and measured 21 inches long. 6.5 pound wipers have been caught recently.
Look at the size of that thing, man.
Wipers are a sterile hybrid that are stocked in lakes and reservoirs with the purpose of harvesting, and they're a great eating fish that put up a great battle to boot. I found that the 12 to 16 inch variety are easier to fillet and cook up better than the larger 20 inch fish. It's hard on the old ticker when they blow up on topwater multiple times without getting the hooks. Gee. It's fun when they bust you way out on the end of a cast. He's not too big, but he's fun. far as I can tell, no place is better than another for wiper on redfleet. I've caught them from the dam all the way up to the river flow of the inlet, and from the surface to as deep as 45 feet, using various baits from night crawlers, jigs, spoons, and topwater lures. When you visit northeastern Utah, stop and give redfleet a try.